In terms of hiring people, that adage of you hire slow, fire fast, maybe give us some experiences where you knew like what you evaluate in terms of someone who's not a good fit, maybe after they've onboarded.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, really, you never know. You never fully know until you get somebody on. And it's just important that like we try to have a culture of transparency and accountability where, you're able to, but also of empowerment, where we want to give them the opportunity to succeed. And there have been times where it hasn't been successful and we need to part ways. But to your point, like fire fast, like the sooner for both parties, the better, right? Because they need to move on and we need to move on. It can be difficult, but at the same time, there needs to be that opportunity for them to, they showed promise, we hired them for a reason. And, especially in certain positions, we hire because we don't know what we don't know and we need to bring in outside influence. Like me, Mike, and Ryan's expertise and job history, like we've never done certain things. And so who are we to say like in certain positions, like, yeah, we should do it that way. Like we need to bring in some outside help. And when it comes to like a culture fit and if it's going to work, sometimes that just takes time. Unfortunately, sometimes it doesn't work out, but for the most part it does. And I think that, and our interview process has evolved over time. Now, like 4 months ago, Ryan and I, we had this initiative to roll out core values in Jane. And now we're working to operationalize those, which includes hiring by our core values, firing by our core values, and really just setting that like precedent, like this is what you'll be getting into when you come to Jane. What's interesting is MX, they're 2 floors above us and 2 floors below us. Nate Gardner over there, he like introduced us to this idea of how they like came up with their values and how ingrained they are into their culture. And so we've spent a lot of time with him. It's been awesome just to see how they've done it and, trying to take what that process is and Janeify it to make it our own. It's still a work in progress for us. So really that's a lot of what me and Ryan focus on is that part of the culture of, and right now it's those values, it's setting them in stone and operationalizing them.
And they do a lot of heavy lifting. We talked to Rachel Hofstetter from Chatbooks, and she talked about the 5 core values that they have. It's 5 points of a star, and it really is like their North Star of hiring, firing, moving process and product and all the things. And in what she was saying and kind of what we talked about was it helps further identify the culture.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it defines it. It's foundational. And for us, establishing them 7 years after Jane was started was challenging because, we wanted to involve as many people, like everybody, right? And so it wasn't a quick or easy process. It was actually very slow and sometimes painful in like the best way possible because we wanted to make sure like, hey, we're at 170 employees right now. For us to get 100 to 300 employees, which we will, like we need to like have this strong foundation and, because there's growing pains with having that many employees. And once your business gets to a certain size, like we need to have these things like set in stone. And so far it's been great.
That's true. Rand Fishkin, he either wrote about this or he had cited something where people within a company, they'll do an analysis and survey people. And if there's people that are just slightly off, what ends up happening is this.
Oh, for sure.
They're just slightly off on the trajectory where you think you're all going in the same direction where there's just a little bit of nuance to that.
Yeah. So for us right now, with those core values, it's, we did a poster campaign because we want people's buy-in and feedback and before we like start commissioning statues and murals across our company, and then it's like truly operationalizing them. How are these baked into one-on-ones? How are these baked into performance reviews? How are these peer reviews baked into year-end bonuses? Like it's foundational to so many different parts of everybody's job.